Now my dad, my stepdad, he was captain of the football team, World War II vet, you know, in the artillery and infantry, a real man's man kind of guy. And one day he decided that I needed to learn how to swim. I was about 7 years old. So he took me by the hand and took me down to the dam. That's where people went swimming in those days. So he takes me down to the dam. We go in the water. We spend an hour in there. It does not go well. After about an hour, 45 minutes, he takes me by the hand, takes me back up to where my mother was, and says, "There. I can't teach him how to swim, he's got a lead ass." And that was the voice of Red Foreman. You're tired of hearing about all that stuff. You're tired of having that, you know, ring in their ears constantly every time they turn on the television or the radio, every time they, every time they pick up the telephone. They're getting tired of it, they're cranky, they're angry. They're pissed off. It's kind of understandable. But the people that you know will listen to you. Your friends, your roommates, your teammates, your lab partners, your parents' friends. They'll listen to you because they are living the same life that you are. And so it means something to them when you talk to them. Now, there's a lot of people that you aren't going to be able to convince. They've made up their minds. They're on the other side. Not much that you can do about it at this time. But there is that significant minority that is really going to decide this election. And those are the people that you can talk to. And you don't even have to, get them to change their mind. All you have to do is get them to think. Because if they think about it, if they start comparing the president to the other side, the odds are that they're going to vote for Barack Obama.
3 years later, my agents were like, "Yeah, they want you to do that 70s show." And it was really flattering. They just offered it to me, and it was really kind of rare. And I said, "Okay, it's weird though. I wonder." They said, "Yeah, it's to play Wilmer's best friend." And I said, "Oh, it must be that character that I pitched. It must be like, he's that friend from back home." And I said, "Okay, great, that'd be fun. I would love to play that character." So they sent me the script. I agreed to do it. They sent me the script. And I guess the joke on the show is that you don't know where he's from, and he keeps misleading people as to where he's from. And so I read my character was all, the joke was that he was very British. He was very proper and British, and every line was like, "Cheerio," and I said, "Well, I can't do a British accent. This is a nightmare," because and they said, "Well, that's kind of the joke, is that you're supposed to be sort of a bad British." So I did the show, and I had such a great time with Kurtwood and everybody there. It was a lovely experience, but I feel like I was terrible on it because I committed to doing this thing. But it was so fun, and it was cool to meet Kurtwood because I was a huge fan of RoboCop, and educate yourselves if you haven't already. Just take 20, 30. Where are you going? Why are you leaving? Big backpack. This is just getting good. Just take a little bit of time. My favorite thing is when I've been going to a lot of different schools, and my favorite thing is when I meet somebody who is either a Romney supporter or undecided, and because we're not here to shove any agenda at you. I think the best thing that we can do, and what I love doing, is just opening up a discourse, having a dialogue. It's the best thing about college too. So, I would encourage you to talk to your friends, even if you are Republicans, to talk to them about what issues are of concern to them. We all have our own different reasons for voting. School got lucky because I became a clown, but I don't think I would have been able to do what I did, do what I love to do what I do now, if I didn't have some sort of exposure to the arts, and a lot of which was made possible by endowments for the arts. And there's been a lot of talk about Big Bird, and it's been like a smokescreen that's been used. The Republicans very flippantly said, we'll get rid of Big Bird like it was no big deal. I have to say, even though it represents just a sliver of all the cuts that are going to be made, education and the arts being two that are very close to me, and the EPA. Big Bird, I grew up with Big Bird. And Sesame Street helped formed who I am, and as did the arts. And I'll just say quickly how I became involved. When I was your age, it was the 2000 election, and I voted pretty irresponsibly, and it's something I always regretted. I voted for Ralph Nader, which is not necessarily, it's not a bad vote. He's an incredible thinker and a great man, in my opinion, but I didn't really know that. And I didn't know why I was voting. I just knew that there was a really hot vegan girl that I had a crush on, whose name, I swear to God, was Penny Lane. I'm not making that up. Her name was Penny Lane. And, no, it's true. And I wanted to be able to say to her, you know, I read Noam Chomsky, and like I voted for Ralph. So I voted for Ralph Nader. So when I went to school, it was like a very liberal arts college. It was very progressive. And I thought it was like a fashionable, cool thing to do.